There are dragons in that room with you.
Dragons. There are dragons in that room with you. Dragons.
I went to a lot of ICP concerts, so I know.
Yeah, they just do that Faygo everywhere, and the Faygo guys were like, they pulled up with the truck with the Faygo, and they're like, we don't know why we don't want them using us Faygo. They got upset at the early days, but then of course turned the corner and we're like, oh my god, they're selling so much Faygo because they just use it like water.
No idea what Faygo is.
That's wild. See, that's why it's a definitely.
It was a regional thing
regional,
for
it's a
sure.
regional thing.
It's only recently national. And by recently, I mean like the last 10 years.
It ain't.
But Faygo goes back 100 years, 150 years here in Detroit.
And it's a soda pop. It's a
soda.
It's not a Pepsi. It's not a Coke. They ain't going to war with nobody. But ICP being from Detroit, and it being Faygo being from Detroit, they picked up on it as being that's our drink because we're promoting Detroit, period. And they pull out 2 liters and just shake them up and then spray them at the audience.
That's great.
So everybody leaves sticky and stuck to each other.
But they've got a line of really unique flavors.
Unique
and fruit
to say
flavors.
the least, because some people don't even drink it, Dina.
Their rock and rye is great. Like I said, it's my favorite. The cream soda, because it's like a flavored cream soda. It's like a cherry cream soda. It's like
some people really enjoy it.
The cream soda is very yummy as well.
I don't drink soda either, Dana, and I ain't drinking nothing about no whatever he's talking about.
I don't drink soda regularly either because really they're trying to kill us.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eat my sugars. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I drink water.
No, I agree. That's what it came down to for me. Looking at the bottles, like, there's actually, if you were to put out the amount of sugar that's in it, it actually would not fit in the container.
Elon Musk got a mountain of sugar. I ain't even got a gram of sugar.
Well, amen, brother. All right, what do we got here? Dina, Faygo is a soda brand from Michigan. Yeah, just like we said. Thank you for the confirmation. I like to feel validated.
Hey,
It's
you're doing a great
tasty.
job,
Thank
buddy.
you, buddy. It's tasty, and it's just my type. But I used to love it, obviously.
What was that? I didn't know that was coming out of you.
No, nobody did. It went nationwide in the 60s.
And
Shut
then
your butt,
But
your
then
teeth are
it also
showing.
then retracted in the 70s.
But I have seen it out in California. And literally,
It's a cheaper brand drink as well.
it was available. We were at this event where they had it. So we each had like a little shot glass of it just because we enjoy the flavor. Like their red pop, also very good.
It's
These
not
are
good.
It that might
It is good to people who would like
tasty.
Oh,
It's tasty.
a
It's
lot of
tasty.
sugar taste.
So that's exactly. It's very syrupy. It's very sugary. So just a small amount.
Enough.
But here's the thing. My grandma always used to have Faygo in her refrigerator. So going over to grandma's meant that delicious Faygo soda.
That's how grandmas fish you in.
That's right. Just like Ginger Rogers did to Fred Astaire.
Mm-hmm. Callbacks.
Callbacks are great.
Man, oh man, I watched
fan.
that Seth Meyers. You remember
Go
when
on.
we did Dustin's after show
No, I
and
don't.
Seth Meyers came out, and I was like, oh my god, Tim Robinson gave Seth Meyers all of my ideas for my show. I didn't tell you all this paranoia. It's hilarious.
It does feel familiar.
It's
Yes.
hilarious because ultimately he was on a lot of my ideas came from Howard Stern, and Seth Meyers was on Howard Stern the week before a show. So if you just start there, everything of my paranoia is null and void. But we had seen, what's his name? Who did I just say? Tim Robinson. We'd seen him at Sam's birthday in Vegas, which I was at, again, in the short 8 months between getting jumped out of the airplane and getting jumped in Vegas, because I went to Vegas in January for Sam. And then in May for Almost Dead.
Right.
And only one of those my ex was at. But I'm drunk, wasted, can't find my brother, forgot that he exists. That's how drunk I am. Didn't realize the 3 hours was going to affect me. Took all of my modern day speedballs and 5 hour energies earlier in the morning. So late night, and then late night I missed the gambling, the big. That's
Right.
that's why I was brought, was to bring the gambling aspect of through the roof. And I would probably be in a Jason Sudeikis movie about gambling had I not gotten so wasted that I found Tim, and I'm like, damn, I got a new show. And he's like, oh, that's good, bud. And he's got his two writing buddies that are like, well, this is hilarious. Well, he's totally awkward right now, and he hates this for sure. And I kept going, I was this way with Tim before. You got it. And then I go into saying, I see my late night show, instead of talking about popular things and having it be dated, I'll talk about myself.
Sure.
That way the audience gets to know me. That way it's not dated. It's insular. And ultimately, the very first week of Seth's show, on the 5th day, on Friday, he tells a personal story about him going to the beach and how much he hates it and all of this stuff. And I sat up in bed, I go, oh, they robbed me. And
so you think they talked about it on SNL?
No, because Tim, I think, was working on the, I don't know if he ever worked on the show, but he was part of maybe like writing and or the staff at the very beginning of the Seth Meyers, possibly, because he said to me, I'm on the Seth Meyers, or I'm doing something with Seth right now, because that's what launched me into telling about mine, right? And my thought then is he comes back Monday. Now, granted, he was not wasted. He was not drunk like I was.
Right, no.
But in my mind, he's like I am, and he goes back Monday, he's got nothing. And Seth like, I'm firing the next person who doesn't bring a good idea. And they get to Tim, who's completely sober, but in my mind, sobering up.
Right.
And he goes, what if you make the Seth Meyers show about Seth Meyers and make it about, right? But ultimately, in my mind, it's funny to have a villain or have somebody that's stealing your stuff,
right,
to then, if they ever felt like it, making the fake drama and the fake fight and funniness. But because all he'd have to go was, I was on Howard Stern the week before. Like, I know, I just want to say hi, bud. I mean, that's what most of Dustin's after show bits come down to. Like,
easy with the band. You get a little bangy.
I get bangy when I start telling stories that are very good.
Okay. You're enthusiastic. I'll give you that.
It's like I've been hopped up on Fago.
I saw a fan that climbed on stage and they smashed her in the head with a 2-liter. It was awesome. That is a beautiful picture. I might go into a diabetic coma with that Fago.
See what you're doing?
Potentially.
You're potentially freaking some people out.
All of Tim's characters in I Think You Should Leave. Oh, great. All of Tim's characters in I Think You Should Leave are all secretly you, probably.
Sadly, there's a part of me
I don't know if I would feed this. I don't know how it
Here's the thing.
This is a paranoia based on assumption.
Yeah, and here's another paranoia moment. Here's the reason paranoia starts. Because I started dating a girl.
Paranoia runs deep.
I started dating, let's just call her Tina, because I don't remember her name, and that's rude already.
Oh my gosh.
But we were working at the music menu, right? This is right before you and me got together. And there's a band that played there, and they used to play this song called Space Invader. And then one night after we made Sweet Love, she, good confessional and or honest, because she's like, I never thought she could be this way. I thought she was, not, like this. You're very cool like this. And I feel bad. And I'm like, what do you feel bad about? Well, what? Well, we used to tease you behind your back a little bit. And I'm like, oh, you did? And she said, yeah. And you know that song, Space Invader.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, yeah. Well, it was inspired a little bit by you, and because you're a close talker, and and I go, oh, really? Oh no, I'm never gonna be the same.
I mean, that's kind of a compliment. You got a song named after you. It's great.
Is it? It's called Space Invader. You invade my space. Get away from me. But ultimately, that's where the paranoia about. How do you know, though, people ain't really talking behind your back and making fun of you and all this other bullshit? You know what I mean?
Well, Dina, better than a regular coma from getting hit in the head with a full soda bottle. That's funny.
Is that what happened to the
To the first? No, did she go into a coma? No, I don't
That's
think.
not a great story.
I think that's an extrapolation. I think she's extrapolating.
You're funny with words.
I made it to the cusp of the show.
It's the
Hey,
end.
Crystal!
Crystal!
Glad you made it. Glad you made it.
Glad you could come by.
Kara, I don't think I want to be in any kind of coma.
To be honest.
To be honest.
TVH. Sometimes the abbreviations throw me off.